I feel kind of inspired by the bike rides that Zach has done on Hyper-RPG to show everybody more of his city of LA. So I thought I could try to do the same, even though my equipment isn't half as good as that of Hyper-RPG. So I guess I will have to hold on to my GoPro through most of the bike ride because it's kind of wobbly. Yeah, this is the first day, the first time I'm taking the bike to Bonn this year, I think, or I might have done it very early in the year before that whole Corona crisis started. So for quite a while you were not supposed to go into the city. All the shops were closed, all the cafes were closed. Rightfully so, because so far the first wave we got over quite well, with only very few deaths and yeah, not that many infected people. I think overall Germany had about, well, a little bit more than 1 million estimated, because we didn't do too many tests, so we are not 100% sure. Yeah, now everything is back open. Guten Hunger! Just with a few restrictions, like wearing a face mask in businesses, not in the open air, but when you go into a shop or when you walk from the entrance from a cafe to your seat, then you have to wear a face mask. Yeah. And as you can see, public is already pretty crowded again, so I do hope we won't get a second wave, but I almost expect we will, because not everybody is behaving in a sensible way. Yeah, anyway, the ferry is just coming, so I have perfect timing. This will take me across the River Rhine, and I thought I could, oh, wait a second, oh, please! Thought I could just take you along. I won't talk too much on the ferry, because German people don't like to be filmed. That is very different than in America. We are not even supposed to film anybody without their signature and permission to do so. So I might keep that a secret when I'm on board. So this way is downstream. There's Cologne, not there, but about 30 kilometers downstream. No, not 30, oh, 20 maybe. And 5 kilometers upstream, there's Bonn. That's where I'm going. It's Germany's former capital. Ja, als Brillenträger hat man es schwer, ne? Ja, aber Scheiße, tut mir echt leid. Immer, das ist schlimm. Ja. Das ist das Einzige eigentlich, was mich nervt. Kann ich gut verstehen. Aber es ging am Donnerstag auf der Arbeit. Hallo, einmal Fahrrad und ich bitte. Hallo. Jawohl. Bitteschön. Kaffeekasse haben, können Sie die 20 Cent auch gern behalten.
Danke sehr.
Danke.
Mach ich doch gern.
Tschüss.
Hallo.
Hi.
Hallo. Hi. Okay.
Danke. Was hast du dir auch anders überlegt? Ne?
Ja, ja.
Ich war auch am Landestag am ersten.
Hab schon gehört.
War doch
Da
okay.
hatte ich mal gesagt, ich kann das auch nicht los.
Nee. Aber auf der Arbeit ist es so, als wenn was gewesen, außer Maske. Ne? Ja.
Ja.
Das läuft, aber schauen wir mal. Ne?
Aber bei dir ist soweit alles okay? Ich habe gehört, dass am Montag jetzt wieder.
Ja. Nach 2 Monaten war wieder
Haben Sie
Füße.
gesagt,
Frischer, Füße sehen aus. Seine Frau hat
Macht es Ihnen beiden was aus, wenn ich mit dem Fahrrad so ein bisschen
Nee,
näher komme? Ich mache nämlich gerade für meine Freunde in Amerika einen kleinen Film und dann kann ich über die Reling filmen.
Ja.
Danke. So this is the entrance to our little harbor, Mondorfer Hafen. This is the River Rhine, but over there the River Sieg mouths into the Rhine. I hope you can even hear me through the mouth face mask. Yeah, so the Sieg is a much smaller river than the Rhine. It's, I think, only about 130 or something kilometers long. Compared to the Rhine, where I'm living, it's kilometers 660, and it's still a long way to go until it mouths into the North Sea. So the Rhine is much bigger, and the Sieg is usually quite shallow, so that's where I learned to swim. There are even people sitting on the sandbank over there enjoying the sun, and we had very little rain over the past few, well, we can almost say months. I think the last real rain came down in February, and now it's mid-May. So it's super flat right now. You can even walk through without getting your trousers wet as long as you're wearing shorts. And that bridge you can maybe see over there on the right there. That's one of the 3 bridges that cross the Rhine on the in the Bonn area. That's the Nordbrücke, so the northern bridge, which is mainly for the Autobahn, so a highway bridge. But you can also cross this by bike. It has a bike lane on the side with a banister that separates it from the cars. And then there's the what's it called? Kennedy Brücke, like John F. Kennedy. That's the main pedestrian and bike and car bridge which leads into the city. And then a little bit further upstream there's the Südbrücke, the southern bridge, which connects to the Rheinaue. Rheinaue is a beautiful park which was set up for like a park show, a garden show, I think in the 60s if I'm not mistaken. And it is a very common place for people to go to have a picnic or just lay in the sun or learn how to ride your rollerblades, because it's all smooth pavement over there. And usually in summer, every first Saturday of the month, there is a big flea market in the Rheinaue, but I fear due to Corona this tradition won't happen this year either. So we almost reached the other shore, so I'm getting ready to mount my bike again. Yep. Hope this works. noch Ihnen beiden.
Ja. Ja.
And off we go. A little bit tilted, but I can't figure out how to fix it in a more horizontal position. I'm glad it's boings. I'm glad it's holding at all. This side of the river is very popular for people with dogs, because as you might be able to see on the left, the shore is super smooth, so dogs can run quite a distance into the Rhine without having to swim even. It's pretty shallow. Missed coming here. I mean, my village is nice itself, but I kind of missed just going on a trip to the city. Dankeschön. When bikers coming from behind me forget to use their bell, and then I don't know they are coming and they almost knock me over. I'm not as fast as cyclists because I don't have an e-bike. It's all muscle power. I wish I had an e-bike though, because until 2014 or maybe 15, I don't know, I used to ride my bike all the way to the city of Bad Honnef, where I worked in a veterinarian's practice, and that was 25 kilometers one way, and I did it every day. So I was super slim and super trained back then, and I enjoyed it so much, even after a most stressful day in the practice, riding the bike home all the way along the river took off all the stress from me. Ugh, swarm of midges. But then sadly my bike got stolen, and I went to the bike shop to get a new bike with the money the insurance company paid me. And sadly they did a bad job at, well, consulting or whatever. The recommendation, the bike they recommended to me was very bad for me. So it permanently damaged my knees within 3 months, and ever since my knees are so... Oh wait a second, I have to catch this monkey. Come on! Got it. Ever since my knees are so damaged that I can do a bike ride to Bonn, which is, as I said, just 5 kilometers, but I wouldn't be able to do distance of 25 anymore, let alone 50 a day, which I did back then. So yeah, I really miss that, and having an e-bike would solve that problem. But I was actually planning to get one this year because my business, well, it doesn't make me rich, far from it, but I don't need much for living. So I was able to save some money. I wanted to get an e-bike, but then Corona hit and my business, well, fell flat completely. I haven't had any jobs since March 15th, and that was the last day I was hired. Yeah, so no e-bike this year. I live from my savings and I'm glad I have some. This here on the left, can you see this red brickwork building? That's pretty old. I think it used to be a brick, yeah, they made bricks, but I'm not 100% sure. Very old industrial building, and I'm happy they didn't tear it down. They were planning on doing so some years ago, but instead they renovated it and made office buildings out of it, because too many old beautiful buildings in Bonn have been replaced by really ugly, well, steel and glass buildings and concrete over the years. So I'm always happy to see that some of the brick buildings remain. This is the beginning of a container harbor, where they ship containers coming down the Rhine. Oh, and you will see in the city of Bonn itself, Bonn used to be much more pretty before World War II, but there were so many bombs coming down on the city during World War II that, yeah, big parts of the city got destroyed. And sadly, because they didn't have the money to restore it in all its beauty, they put up a lot of really ugly buildings in the 60s and 70s mainly. Yeah, which is a shame. But there are some nice buildings remain, like the birthplace of Ludwig van Beethoven, the famous classic composer. That's a pretty one. I'm taking such deep breaths because it's smelling so nice, like wild roses. They are in bloom everywhere, like over here. And elderflower, which is my second favorite fragrance of spring. My most favorite one is lilac, but that one is just done blooming. And yeah, now it's the elderflower and wild roses time, which is super nice as well. Whee! This is one of my favorite parts of the trip because I don't have to pedal at all. It's going downhill. I should get back on my rollerblades again. I haven't done it for years. I don't know what my niece would say about it. Probably wouldn't be too happy. Sometimes in summer people go to have a bath in the river underneath the bridge here, but that's actually super dangerous, and every year People get caught in the current, especially when a big ship passes, and they get pulled out into the river. And every year people die in the Rhine around here because they just underestimate the current. So I would only recommend going swimming in the Sieg, never in the Rhine, never ever. And the Sieg is much cleaner too. To my right there's a public swimming pool, the Römerbad, Romans. But yeah, as I said, I usually don't go into public swimming pools. I learned swimming. Yay, hi! For some reason my camera turned off the recording after 20 minutes and something, 21 minutes or so. And I didn't notice. So I kept talking and talking and talking until I parked my bike and noticed, I lost it somewhere along the way. So now we are already at Bertha von Suttner Platz. This is this square here. This is where I usually park my bike. Theoretically, you can ride your bike through the entire city of Bonn, but even though traffic is not nearly as dangerous as it is in LA, the bike lanes are all part of the road, and many of the car drivers are just stupid and don't really pay attention to bicycles. So accidents happen quite frequently, and I don't want to risk that. So that's why I usually park my bike here at Bertha von Suttner Platz and do the rest on foot. For being a former capital of Germany, Bonn is super tiny anyway. Compared to Berlin, which is the capital now, it is really more a village than a city. I think if you're generous, you can call it a town, but city is really too much of a too big word for Bonn. In contrast to LA, you can cross a whole street with a green light and you don't have to run. That was one of the things I was most confused about in LA. I mean, I'm not walking slowly, but you know what, we will take a different road so I can show you Beethoven's birthhouse. I'm not even walking slowly, and the lights turned red on me every time I was crossing a street in LA. So I was wondering, how do seniors do that? How do grannies and grandpas get across the street without getting run over by a car? Or is that one of the reasons why all the car drivers are honking in LA? Because there are always pedestrians on the road. I don't know. Yeah, Bertha von Suttner Platz is not one of the prettiest places in Bonn, but it's a good place to start anyway. I think I'm going to take you to my favorite comic book store too. But let's first go and check out Beethoven House for a moment. So Bertha von Suttner was a woman who won the Nobel Prize for Peace, and she was also an author and lived from 1843 to 1914. This is one of the oldest pubs in Bonn. It's called Im Stiefel, which means in your boot or in the boot. So This is Beethoven's birthhouse. This one. Up. I've never been inside. I definitely should go inside once. Look at that. Hi there, Ludwig. Yeah. I don't know, do you think that's a usual problem that many people have, or a common problem, that you usually don't really go sightseeing where you live? I don't know if that's different if you live in places like New York or LA, where there are tons and tons of sightseeing places, but at least here in Bonn, I never felt the urge to go sightseeing somehow. I just go here, buy my stuff, sit in a nice cafe, and then I go home again. This is a really pretty church. It looks much higher on the camera because of the wide angle. It's not even that high. So we are walking up Bonngasse now, I think. Gasse is like an alley. And now we are about to reach the marketplace. There's a fruit and vegetable and meat and bakery market every day during the week, and also on Saturdays, which is today, but I think it closes early on Saturday, so I'm not sure it's still open. We will see. Oh, it is. Welcome to Bonn Market. It's also the place where there's the old city hall, which is super pretty. One of the few buildings which has still remained after World War II. And yeah, looks still pretty. And here in front of us on the corner, that used to be Bonn's oldest cinema, and they closed it down about 10 years ago, I think, because cinemas are really struggling in Germany. They don't make much money anymore since there are streaming services and such. So one after another is closing. And when they closed this one down, everybody in Bonn was very sad because it was super pretty with blue curtains and all that stuff and balconies. And I don't think I'm allowed to film in there. Otherwise I would show you. For a while there was a super cheap €1 shop inside. And yeah, it was ugly. But then a big book chain called Thalia bought it, the building, and they unveiled some of the former glory of the cinemas. So you can now see the curtains again. They even restored some of the rows on the balcony where you can now sit and read some books, and yeah, now it's really pretty again. Here's the market. It's asparagus time. But this year I'm not buying any asparagus because it's so expensive. At least if you want to get German asparagus, and since I'm really, for me, local, how to explain that? I don't like vegetables and fruits which also grow in Germany to get transported over really far distances from other countries. So I'm refusing to buy asparagus from Spain when asparagus is also growing on the fields 3 kilometers from here. You know what I mean? So yeah, due to Corona this year, asparagus is very, very expensive. That's why I'm not getting any this year, but all the more looking forward to get some next year. Wow, this is a Corona effect for sure, because, well, first of all, there's the city hall, and then all these tables with the seatings, they are usually all on the left and much more, much closer together. I guess that's due to the Corona restrictions, that you have to keep some space between the tables and the seating. That's why they stretched it over the entire marketplace. But if you ask me, that looks quite nice. I'll take a picture of that before we go on. Waiting for people to pass. Here we go. Up. Yeah. The second cafe on the left is called Varieté, tea like tea. And that is one of my favorite cafes here in Bonn. I have 3 favorite places to go. One of them is the Varieté. One of them is the so-called Cream Company, which is a small startup company which started off only with waffles and ice cream, but by now has really delicious breakfast pans with warm breakfast with sausages and baked beans and stuff. Things you usually don't get in Germany because we eat cold breakfast, like cereals or bread. So this is always something special. And the third one is a pub, but you can also get really nice burgers over there. It's called the Voyager. And the Voyager is a fantasy and gaming pub. So they have tons of board games. I think we will go this way. I want to show you the comic shop. Yeah, Voyager is also very nice. Right now they're suffering a bit because they usually make most of their money from people who come and play games and also eat and drink, of course. And right now, due to the Corona restrictions, people are not allowed to touch the games or to play them. And you're not even allowed to bring your own games, which you can usually do in that pub. So I think they have really few visitors at the moment. Oops. Oh, so many people! I'm trying to keep a 6-foot distance, 2 meters distance, but it's hard. Look at all these crowds. Da, 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 dum, da, dum. Oh dear, it's like slalom race. Trying to avoid close contact with people. That's where the music came from. The bells over there. Yeah, it's 3 p.m. So I think every full hour the chimes are playing. Okay, let's pass here. Less people. So I have to get something from inside Rossmann, so I will get back to you later. See you. I got stuck at Cream Company. I couldn't resist to get a Bud Spencer breakfast pan and some fresh iced tea. And I even dug out a picture of the cinema I told you about. This is what it looks now that it's a bookstore. I know the reflection is annoying, but I hope you can see something. So now it resembles the old cinema style. Yeah. I will have some food now and then we can continue the sightseeing. Bye bye. Oh dear, I'm full, but it was delicious as always. The square in front of us is called Friedensplatz, which means Peace Square. I'm sure it has a history, the name has a history, but I never tried to figure out which, so maybe I should grab the opportunity and do that now. Let's see. This is the Friedensbrunnen, the Peace Well, and maybe there's some kind of sign saying something about it. No, it isn't. Some things are written on here. Oh, something in Latin. Weisheit, Ordnenamt, anderes. Where does it start? Okay, let's see. Hopp. Frieden zu haben, to have peace. Das kommt der Liebe zu Frieden zu begründen, aber das Amt ordnender Weisheit. That doesn't make sense even for me, although it's German. So I have no chance to translate that. Sorry, guys. Obviously, that was Thomas von Aquin who said that, but I don't know what he was trying to say with it. So let's go and have a look at my comic store. Oh, it's not my comic store, but our comic store, my favorite comic store. This alley over here is called Wilhelmstraße, maybe? No, wait a second. What's it called? Friedrichstraße. Friedrichstraße, here. And I like that one because it's usually less crowded than the Sternstraße, which goes straight through the city. And it has some nice shops, not the big chains, which you can find everywhere, like Starbucks. I reached the comic book store, but I can't take you inside because that's something you just don't do in Germany. You don't make videos in stores. People don't like it, and it's usually not even allowed. I will now go across the street, not here, but at the traffic light, of course, to check out the new Asian market. My housemate already went and said it has a nice variety of products and is pretty big, and we don't have too many Asian markets, so I'm looking forward to see what they have. Over there, the Old Town starts. It has some really nice houses from the turn of the century, from 19th to 20th century, but it is most popular for its cherry blossom. People usually come from all over the world to see the cherry blossom in Bonn, in the old town of Bonn. But this year they had to block the entire old town for tourists. You couldn't go there because they wanted to avoid crowds because of Corona. So I didn't get to see it this year, but that's fine. I mean, it looks as pretty this year as last year and every year, I guess. Yeah, so I'm gonna check out the Asian market, and then before I go home, I think I'll show you Bonn University, which is really nice. See you there! So let's walk a little bit on Friedrichstraße until we get to the university. I bought some rice balls at the Asian market and some mochi or something like that for my housemate who really likes them, and some peanut butter because that's usually very expensive in Germany, but in the Asian market it was surprisingly cheap. Going here to avoid people. When you look around, it feels like most people don't even care about COVID-19 anymore, wouldn't you agree? I really hope we won't get a bad second wave. I mean, it's for sure not going to be as bad as in the USA or in Italy or in Spain, but I still wish people were behaving a little bit more sensible. This is a really, really good French cafe. They have the best brioche and croissant and all that yummy stuff. But luckily I'm full. So here's Bonngasse again. We went this way to the market and came that way from Beethovenhaus earlier. But now we are taking the parallel street. Excuse me. Here you can see some of the older house facades. I'm pretty happy to live in nowadays time, but I would like to take a time trip to the past just for a day or two to see what Bonn looked like when all these houses were so pretty. So let's take a right turn, then we will cross the marketplace again. Oh my goodness, it's so crowded. Under different circumstances, I would just wriggle my way through the crowd, but I don't want to get too close to people, so I have to adapt my speed to the speed of the others. So here we are at the marketplace again. Oh my goodness. Zigzagging my way through the crowds. Hello, Old Town Hall. Long time no see. I might want to grab some strawberries. I haven't had strawberries this year at all so far. And I think here on the marketplace they are much cheaper than they are in the supermarket. No, thank you. Oh yeah, there. A pound of strawberries for €2. That's a fair price. I will get back and get some later.
Spargel, Kilo 3 €. Kilo Spargel 3 €. Spargel, Kilo 3 €.
This is called Marktbrücke, which means Market Bridge, although it isn't a bridge. But the meaning is probably that it bridges the distance between the market and Bonn's central square, which is the Münsterplatz. Münster, on the one hand, is a city in Germany, but that's not what it's named after. It's named after the Münster, which is the church you can see in the back. That's the Bonner Münster. It has been under renovation renovation for, I don't know, more than a year for sure. So we sadly can't go inside. It has a really, really pretty churchyard? No, churchyard sounds like a cemetery. Well, a yard in the middle of the church. But I can't show you. Abstand. Guys. So over there's the university. The yellow building in the back. Oh, it seems closed. That's sad. I wanted to walk you through. I guess it's only open Monday to Friday because there are no classes on Saturdays. Hey, pigeons. Guys, out of my way. Shoo, 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 shoo. Okay, let's try to find a way around. To Hofgarten, which is right behind the university. It's a carnival shop. I think carnival doesn't have the same meaning in German as it has in America. I think what you call a carnival is like a fun fair, right? That moves around. And here carnival is a time of year in February where we celebrate and dress up in costumes. And there are parades and they throw candies into the crowds from the parade. Yeah, stuff like that. Here's the Münster construction site. Whoop. And here we go. There's Haribo shop. I bet you all know Haribo, but maybe you don't know that it comes from Bonn. It's even in the name. It's I think it's Hans Riegler Bonn. Haribo. But not sure about the Hans Riegler part. Maybe it's Hans Riegel or something, but very close to that. And fun fact, our Haribo tastes different from the Haribo you can get in the States. Because, as usual, Americans put way more sugar into the candies. So, Moment. Jawohl, bitteschön. Alles Gute. Tschüss. Had some spare coins. This is Kaiserplatz. Kaiser is what's above a king? Emperor. The emperor's place, but please don't ask me why. I have no clue. Okay, this is a bike lane. So here, in summer, these fountains are turned on. And as a child, I played so much. I mean, I rolled up my my trousers and played in these fountains while my mom was having a cafe somewhere in these gastronomical businesses, or was sitting on the lawn reading a book. And I don't know if you can see the wrapped up building in the back. That's the so-called Poppelsdorfer Schloss, so like a tiny little castle, but it's under construction too, so no need to go there. And this meadow stretches all the way until Poppelsdorfer Schloss, and it's called the Poppelsdorfer Allee. And I think I learned yesterday that Allee means Alameda in English, because I watched Cookie Quest and I noticed that in almost every district of LA, Lucas came by some Alameda Street, Alameda Avenue, Alameda Road, all that stuff. And I thought, what does that name mean? Why is it so common? And so I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it said Alameda is an alley lined by trees, which would equal Allee in German. So this is the Hofgarten. This is one of the most popular places to go in summer when you live in the city, or when you are a student at the university. Then you use the time, the breaks in between classes to go here, catch some sunshine, study a bit on the lawn. Yeah. And this is the university again, now from the back. Rheinische Friedrich Wilhelms University, maybe. Or just Bonn University. So, don't trip, Judith. Okay, hop. Back there, there's the Art Museum. Akademisches Kunstmuseum. It smells so good. Seems like they just mowed the lawn. It smells like really fresh hay. And now we are almost back at the river and back at Bertha von Suttner Platz, where I parked my bike. So I'm going to walk over there now, and then I will take a different road home. A different way home, so that you won't get bored to see the same things that you saw when I drove here. This time I'm going to go over the Deich. What's Deich? Is it dike in English? A wall of soil to keep off the flood. That's a Deich. And I'm going to ride on the other side of the river to show you some different scenery, and especially the wildflowers on the Deich, which are starting to be in full bloom now and should look really pretty. Maybe I'll even get some for my mom's grave, which I want to visit later today anyway. Yeah, I would say see you when I'm back at the bike. Bye bye. It all got loose. 600 bikes have already crossed this checkpoint today. Here's another nice view of Siebengebirge. I hope you can see it in the back. Sorry, I know it's super bumpy here. Let's see if I can stop at the banister for a second. Can you see anything except for the banister? I don't think you can. Sorry. Worth a try. Seasick. So nicely in spring, by the way. There's the start of the Deich. skateboarders and stuff.
Vorsicht. Dankeschön.
I hope you don't mind me not talking too much. I don't really know what to say except enjoy the ride. I hope the wind isn't too loud. It probably is though. Over here to the right side, that's an old people's residence, a really beautiful one. When my granny was still alive, I had always hoped she would find a place in here. But then, in the end, I think it was good that she got into the old people's home in her village, because she knew everybody there, from the oldest person living in there to the youngest person working there. Starting to bloom. I just caught a wonderful fragrance of something very sweet, almost honey-like. So I think that's the linden trees. Linden trees are tricky beasts. They lure the insects to their blossoms with their beautiful smell, but then they hardly have any nectar. And so a lot of bumblebees especially just die while trying to harvest some nectar from linden trees, because the bumblebee needs so much energy to stay afloat in the air, because it's so fat, that the nectar it gets from the linden trees isn't enough, and so they starve mid-air. That's pretty mean. So around the next left turn, I hope we will see some wildflowers. Maybe we are still too early, I don't know, but they should be in bloom by now. To our left are unofficially known as the Boiler Hundewiese, the dog meadow, because this is about the only place in a pretty big radius where you can let your dog off the leash without people shouting at you and police giving you tickets. So yeah, here are the wildflowers. I'll stop for a second. Hoppala! Oh my goodness, they are so pretty. I love them. Let's see if I can get the GoPro off the bike for a moment to give you a closer look. How do you do that? Come on! Come on! I'm working on it. It has a really long screw to secure it, which is good, of course, but not when you want to take it off quickly. Here we go. Ali, hop! Come on! Hold on! Don't get dizzy! Come on! Ha! Gotcha! Okay, now bike, please don't fall over. Of course you fall over. One moment. Let's do it this way. Up. This should hold. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? Yeah. In a week or two, they will be even more colorful, because now it's mainly purple, and in a week or two there will be a lot more white and even a lot of red dots from the poppy flower. Is it called poppy flower? I think it is. Yeah, I think that's where I will end my trip with you and go on home without recording the rest of the trip. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it wasn't too boring, and I especially hope you didn't get seasick from all the shaking and stuff, because I don't have a proper socket for the GoPro. Have a good day, stay healthy, and take care. Bye bye.